History, you see, is not merely a collection of dates and long-past events confined to dusty tomes and forgotten archives. No, it is something far more vital, far more immediate. It is a vast, sprawling tapestry woven with the threads of human experience. A mirror reflecting our species' incredible capacity for strength, our boundless courage in the face of overwhelming odds, and the sheer, breathtaking audacity of impossible comebacks. Within these chronicles lie the blueprints of resilience, the echoes of voices that refuse to be silenced, and the enduring spirit that defines us. Today, I invite you to journey with me, feast Irish, as we delve into this extraordinary record. We shall uncover 5 true stories plucked from the diverse landscapes of our shared past. These are not just accounts of survival, they are testaments to the indomitable will, narratives of individuals who, when confronted by seemingly insurmountable barriers, chose not to falter but to rise. Their lives serve as powerful beacons, illuminating the path through adversity and reminding us of the profound potential that resides within each of us. Prepare to be moved, perhaps even astonished, by these tales of triumph. For in their struggles and their ultimate victories, we find a profound and timeless message that no matter the challenges you may be facing, no matter how steep the climb may appear, the capacity to persevere, to adapt, and to ultimately overcome is an intrinsic part of our human heritage. Let these stories ignite a spark within you, a reminder to never, ever give up. Our first story takes us to the shores of 16th century Japan, a land then shrouded in mystique and governed by intricate codes of honor. Imagine, if you will, the arrival of a man unlike any seen before on those islands, a towering figure, his skin the color of polished obsidian, an African man named Yasuke. His origins remain partly veiled in the mists of time, believed to have arrived in the retinue of Jesuit missionaries. His very presence was an anomaly, a striking contrast to the world he had entered, sparking curiosity, bewilderment, and no small measure of awe amongst the populace who had never encountered such a striking individual. This was a world of rigid social structures where lineage often dictated destiny. Yet destiny, as we shall see, often has a way of forging its own paths. Yasuke's journey led him to an encounter with one of the most powerful figures in Japanese history, the formidable warlord Oda Nobunaga. Initially, Nobunaga was incredulous, suspecting the deep hue of Yasuke's skin to be ink. But upon verification, fascination replaced disbelief. Nobunaga, a man known for his progressive thinking and appreciation for the unusual, saw something remarkable in Yasuke, perhaps a reflection of his own ambition to unify a fractured land. Through displays of strength, intellect, and an inherent dignity, Yasuke transcended the barriers of culture and race, earning not just Nobunaga's respect, but an unprecedented honor, the status of samurai. He became a warrior, a retainer, a confidant, fighting alongside Nobunaga, his loyalty as unyielding as his formidable presence. Even after Nobunaga's tragic betrayal and death, Yasuke fought valiantly to protect his lord's heir. His tale, though perhaps fading into legend for a time, endures as a powerful testament. It speaks volumes, reminding us that the circumstances of one's birth, the color of one's skin, or the land from which one hails, these things do not define the limits of potential. It is courage, character, and the unwavering spirit that truly forge a legacy. Yasuke's story echoes through the ages. Your background doesn't define you, your courage does. Now we journey to a different theatre of conflict, to the darkest days of the Second World War, where the shadow of tyranny stretched across Europe. Here, in the heart of the French resistance, a figure of extraordinary courage and cunning emerged. Nancy Wake. An Australian journalist living in Marseille when the war erupted, she could have chosen the path of safety, of retreat. But the injustices she witnessed, the brutal occupation by Nazi Germany, ignited a fire within her, a fierce determination to fight back against the encroaching darkness. She was driven by an unshakable conviction that one must act in the face of evil. They called her the White Mouse, a nickname bestowed by the Gestapo themselves, a testament to her uncanny ability to elude their grasp time and time again. She became one of their most wanted, a phantom weaving through their nets with audacious skill. Nancy Wake was not merely an operative, she was a force of nature. She organized escape routes for Allied airmen, coordinated sabotage missions, and later parachuted back into occupied France to lead and arm thousands of Maquis fighters. Imagine the sheer audacity, the nerves of steel required to undertake such perilous missions, where capture meant certain torture and death. Her bravery was legendary, her resourcefulness unparalleled. She was a master of disguise, a skilled courier and a formidable leader. Her impact was immense. She was a beacon of hope for the oppressed and a thorn in the side of a vast, brutal empire. Her actions directly disrupted enemy operations, saved countless lives, and bolstered the morale of those fighting for freedom. Nancy Wake's story is a stark reminder that the power to effect change, to challenge even the most formidable of adversaries, does not solely reside in armies or governments. Sometimes it is the unwavering resolve and fearless spirit of a single individual that can shake an empire to its core. One fearless woman indeed can alter the course of history. Chapter 3. The Rocket's Wings, Abdul Kalam's Ascent from Dust. Our journey now takes us to the sun-drenched lands of southern India, to a small coastal town where a young boy named Avul Pakir Jainul-Abdin Abdul Kalam dreamt amongst the fishing boats and the scent of the sea. Born into humble beginnings, his family possessed little in material wealth, but they instilled in him a profound curiosity and a deep-seated belief in the power of knowledge. Young Kalam, distributing newspapers to help support his family, looked to the skies, captivated by the flight of birds, and yearned to understand the mechanics of soaring. His early life was a testament to the idea that dreams can take root even in the most unpromising soil. His path was far from easy. The pursuit of education, of scientific understanding, required immense sacrifice and unwavering dedication. He faced setbacks, financial hardships, and moments where the grandness of his ambitions seemed to clash with the stark reality of his resources. Yet his passion for aerospace engineering burned ever brighter. He joined India's nascent space program, a field fraught with challenges, particularly for a developing nation. His early work on a small hovercraft was a stepping stone, but his vision was set on the stars, on launching India into the age of space exploration. The journey to develop India's first satellite launch vehicle, the SLV-3, was arduous, marked by failures that would have deterred lesser spirits. But Kalam and the dedicated team he inspired persevered. They toiled with limited resources, driven by an unyielding belief in their mission. They learned from each setback, each explosion, each miscalculation, viewing them not as defeats but as crucial lessons on the path to success. And then, in 1980, that moment of triumph arrived. The SLV-3 successfully launched, placing the Rohini satellite into orbit. It was a monumental achievement for India, and for Kalam it was the culmination of a lifetime's dream fueled by sheer passion rather than privilege. His story beautifully illustrates that if your dream is strong enough, your journey doesn't need luxury. It needs an unquenchable, burning passion to propel you forward. Chapter 4. The Unbroken Spirit. Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. We now turn our gaze to the continent of Africa, to South Africa, a nation then deeply scarred by the brutal and institutionalized racism of apartheid. In this landscape of profound injustice and systemic oppression, one man's struggle for equality would resonate across the globe: Nelson Mandela. His early life as a lawyer and an activist with the African National Congress was dedicated to dismantling this cruel system, a fight for the fundamental human dignity of his people. He believed in a South Africa where all were equal, regardless of the color of their skin, a vision that put him on a direct collision course with the powers that be. His unwavering commitment to this cause led to his arrest and imprisonment. For 27 long, arduous years, Nelson Mandela was confined, much of it spent on the notorious Robben Island, a place designed to break the spirit of its inmates. He endured hard labor, isolation, and the constant threat of violence. Yet within those prison walls, his spirit remained unchained. He became a symbol of resistance, a leader who continued to inspire and guide the anti-apartheid movement from his cell. He educated himself and his fellow prisoners, fostering a community of resilience and hope in the bleakest of environments. His resolve only hardened, his moral authority growing with each passing year of unjust confinement. The world watched, and the pressure against the apartheid regime mounted. Finally, in 1990, the day of liberation arrived. Nelson Mandela walked free, not with bitterness or a desire for revenge, but with a profound message of reconciliation and forgiveness. He led South Africa through a delicate transition to a multiracial democracy, becoming its first black president. His life is an extraordinary testament to the power of the human spirit to endure, to forgive, and to transform even the most deeply entrenched systems of oppression. It powerfully demonstrates that even when the world locks you up, confines your body, you can still set your mind, your spirit, and ultimately, your people free. Chapter 5. The Divine Spark, Ramanujan's Uncharted Mathematics. Our final story transports us to the early 20th century, to the town of Kumbakonam in British India, where a mind of astonishing, almost preternatural brilliance blossomed in obscurity. Srinivasa Ramanujan, born into a poor Brahmin family, possessed little formal training in higher mathematics. Yet from a young age he was consumed by numbers, by patterns, by the intricate dance of equations that seemed to flow to him with an almost divine intuition. He filled notebooks with theorems and formulas, many of which were entirely original, conceived in isolation from the established mathematical communities of the West. His genius was raw, untamed, and profoundly deep. His struggle was not one of intellect, but of recognition and opportunity. In a world rigidly structured by academic credentials, Ramanujan's lack of formal qualifications made it incredibly difficult for his work to be taken seriously. He worked as a clerk, pursuing his mathematical explorations in his spare time, driven by an insatiable intellectual hunger. He began a correspondence with leading mathematicians in England, sending them samples of his extraordinary theorems. Many dismissed his work, unable to comprehend its depth or unorthodox presentation. But one, the eminent Cambridge mathematician G.H. Hardy, recognized the unmistakable signs of genius, however unconventional its packaging. Hardy arranged for Ramanujan to travel to Cambridge, a daunting transition from a small Indian town to the hallowed halls of one of the world's foremost universities. Their collaboration, though sometimes marked by cultural and methodological clashes, was incredibly fruitful, leading to groundbreaking contributions in number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions. Ramanujan's insights were often so profound, so unexpected, that they seemed to arrive fully formed, as if whispered by a muse. Despite a tragically short life plagued by illness, his legacy is monumental. He showed the world that genius doesn't require a gilded cage of formal education or societal permission to flourish. It simply needs an unshakable belief in its own unique voice. Outro, the unwritten chapter, Your Own Resilience. As we draw these remarkable narratives to a close, from the shores of feudal Japan to the heart of Cambridge mathematics, one profound truth resonates through them all. Yasuke, Nancy Wake, Abdul Kalam, Nelson Mandela, Srinivasa Ramanujan, every one of these extraordinary individuals, in their own unique way, often started with what society might deem as nothing, or faced beginnings fraught with immense adversity, yet they did not merely endure, they inscribed their names into the annals of history, leaving legacies that continue to inspire generations. Their stories are not just historical accounts, they are living proof of the boundless potential that resides within the human spirit. If they, facing such monumental odds, could rise to such heights, could reshape their destinies and the world around them, then consider the power that lies dormant within you. Their journeys underscore a vital message. The capacity for greatness, for resilience, for making a profound impact, is not exclusive to a chosen few. It is a spark that exists in every single one of us, waiting to be fanned into a flame. So, I ask you, which of these incredible comebacks resonated most deeply with your own spirit? Whose journey has perhaps ignited a new perspective on the challenges you face? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights enrich our collective understanding, and if these stories have moved you, please don't forget to like this video, share it with others who might find inspiration here, and subscribe to FlashMystery for more powerful and illuminating journeys into the heart of history.